Hey guys, welcome back to Mo's Game Table. Today we're going to take a look inside Holland 44, designed by Mark Simonich and published by GMT Games. It is about Operation Market Garden in September of 1944. Anybody who's ever watched A Bridge Too Far knows exactly what this is about. I have not really been big into the whole Market Garden gaming. I know a lot of people are really, it's very popular with a lot of people. The topic is. I've not really played much. I do have the Victory Point games, Market Garden, the three bridge game that they've got, the three different bridges that you can combine into one game. I do have that, but I've never played a Market Garden proper game. So I wanted to get hold of this. Mark Simonich is a man that really does not need too much of an introduction when it comes to designing these games. Ukraine 43, Normandy 44, Hannibal and Hamilcar, U.S. Civil War. The man's got a ton of games to his credit. Stalingrad 42 is one that I'm very keen on because I'm a big East Front fan, so I'm really curious to see what he does with that. So let's take a look at the back of the box here from Holland 44 as the dice go rolling around inside. And it says, Holland 44 is a two-player game depicting the Allies' combined ground and airborne attack in the Netherlands during World War II, which was codenamed Operation Market Garden. This daring plan to grab critical bridges across the Netherlands had the potential of opening up a clear road into Germany. However, remnants of several battered German divisions were in the area and were able to slow the ground offensive and almost totally destroy the British 1st Airborne Division. The Allied offensive was a failure. So here is your chance to change history, basically. It says here, the game uses the simple move, fight, supply game system developed in Normandy 44 and Ardennes 44. Important elements like supply, troop quality, tank quality, artillery support, and command and control are all reflected in the game. Special rules for airborne landings, airborne supply, bridge destruction, and repair are also included. Game covers the first critical 7 days of the battle with 20-turn campaign and 11-turn tournament scenario. These are the counters. And it says here complexity is a 6 on a scale of 1 to 9, and the solitaire suitability is high at 7 on a scale of 1 to 9 as well. Game contents, you get one full-size map, 22 by 34, one map section, 17 by 22, 2 sheets of counters, 2 identical player aid cards, 1 scenario card, 1 rules booklet, and 2 6-sided dice. The map scale is 2 kilometers per hex, and the time is 3 days per turn. Battalion scale of the units, and it is 2 players. And there is a look at the map here that you're going to get, and we'll take a look inside the box and see what the components look like. Get your baggies, that die that was rolling around inside while I flip this thing over. We've got our rules of play, which covers 40 pages. The rules themselves go to 24, and then the optional rules are also on page 24. There's a page of those, and then scenarios themselves start on 25, and that goes all the way, well, it looks like it goes just to 25. There's hints for players, an extended example of play on page 26, designer's notes, summary of important rules, Allied reinforcement, German reinforcement, and index, and there's an expanded sequence of play at the end of the book. We'll take a look at that when we come back to the manual. And here is a little sheet of paper you don't want to lose out if you see this in your book. This is errata that did not make it into the manual, so you can add that to your manual itself when you get that. And we've got our 2 counter sheets here with your admin counters and your different units that are going to be in the game. And those, about half of the sheet is admin counters and the rest are units on that. And then we have our setup cards for the German units and Allied units down below. Then we have player aid card, and on the one side gives you your CRT, combat modifiers, explanation, results, the bridge demo table, air landing table, disengagement table, determined defense table, and on the back it gives you your tech with isolation attrition table, your exit EZOC cost, combat zone recovery table, and your weather table. And of course, as expected on your tech, it gives you the movement cost for mechanized, non-mechanized, shift if there's armor, and then combat effects and notes based on each piece of terrain that you're fighting on. And we've got the other die that was floating around in there. And we've got our map. So We'll open up the big one first, take a look at that. If I can do this without tearing it. There we go. That right there is the map itself. Beautiful map. I mean, we always expect nothing but great maps from GMT, and this one does not disappoint. Semi-glossy map, paper map, so you can slap some plexi on top of it. Has a really good-looking terrain. You've got plenty of roads, rivers. You've got your open areas. You've got it looks like polder, marsh, woods, towns, cities, and clear. And then you have primary, secondary roads, minor roads, rivers, minor and major, and canals, and then your core boundary lines, which are these here. And then you also have a smaller map, which is this bit here that will go up top to expand out the map. But I'm not going to be able to fit that all in there because I don't have the table height or table length, and I don't have the height on the camera to show you it. So this is a look at the top part of the map, and this is the rest of the map proper there. We'll take a look inside the rules of play real quick. And it goes into your, starts off with your introduction, goes into your contents, and it breaks down your units, all the different parts of the unit, the size, the ID, attack, defense, strength, morale rating, movement, how many steps each one is, the unit type, and the arrival information as far as which turn in the game there's the unit is going to show up in play. And then you have your game markers, your admin counters, and then it goes into weather, bridges, demolition, and repair, stacking, and your stacking limits, the ZOC and ZOC bonds, how that works in this game, and with examples of play, which is real important because ZOCs can be a little odd at times if things change up. Generally, ZOCs are fairly familiar for most wargamers, but sometimes some things are changed up with ZOCs, and I believe ZOC bonds, and this one is a little bit different, handled a little bit differently than it is in other games. So it's great that they have the examples of play. Then you have movement, combat modifiers, lots of examples here. I love the illustrated examples. Terrain modifiers, combat results, retreats, determined defense, desperation defense, disruption and recovery, advance after combat, breakthrough combat, artillery units, supply paths, reinforcements and entry areas, night turns and replacements. Really like that there's a lot of illustrated examples of play here. Breakdown units and merging units, airborne landings, air landing points, the Polish Airborne Brigade, special rules here, unknown units. There are unknown unit counters that will come out there and you don't know which unit that's going to end up being in the game. So then you have some optional rules, which gives you disengagement, and then there's isolation attrition for night turns only, and the die roll modifiers for that. And you have the scenarios in it is the pretty simple. That's why it's only one page. There's the short game and the campaign game. The short game is 11 turns. The campaign game is 20 turns. Then you have some hints for the players for German and Allied sides, and then you have an extended example of play with plenty of illustrated examples in it. Not only does it walk you through what's going on in text format, but you're seeing it here on the map, which really does help. I really love that. That is one of my favorite things ever, because I generally, with most games, I will throw it on the table. I will just start going, and I like to read the rule book as I'm doing it. And this is the type of thing, especially if you have an extended example of play that walks you through it, like in the coin games. That's how I learn the game. I'll just start playing the game based on the playbook, and I'll read the rules as I go. And it kind of helps me judge the game too, by how well the playbook is written. If that fails to grab me, then the game might be a hard sell for me. It may not, but it really does make the game kind of just hook for me when that happens. Then you have designer notes, summary of important rules, and then you have your Allied reinforcement schedule, and then the German reinforcement schedule, and the index here at the back, along with the expanded sequence of play. And that is everything you get inside Holland 44 from GMT Games. If you're interested in Market Garden, whether you are a fan of the of that battle and playing games of that battle, or if you're like me, you don't have really anything or you don't have much on Market Garden, this is going to be a great game to add to your collection and join in on the fun and see if you can change history. If you have any comments or questions, post them below. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.